In a small village, there lived a boy named Ravi. He was clever and hardworking, but he had a bad habit. He judged people by their outward appearance. If someone looked poor or weak, he assumed that person was useless. But if someone wore nice clothes and looked strong, he respected them. His father often advised him, "Ravi, never judge anyone by their appearance. True worth lies in the heart, not on the face." But Ravi took his words lightly. One day, Ravi was wandering around the village when he saw an old man sitting under a tree. The man's clothes were tattered, his beard was disheveled, and he looked very weak. Seeing him, Ravi thought, "This man must be good for nothing. He probably doesn't know anything." The old man smiled and said to Ravi, "Son, can you give me some water? I am very thirsty." Ravi hesitated. He didn't want to waste his time on someone who looked so ordinary. But out of kindness, he gave the old man some water. After drinking the water, the old man said, "Thank you, son. In return, I will give you a piece of advice: never judge a book by its cover." Ravi laughed and said, "What can you teach me? You yourself are a simple old man." The old man simply smiled and said, "You will soon understand this." A few days later, an announcement was made in the village. The king had issued a challenge. "Whoever answers my riddle correctly will receive a gold reward and a place in the royal court." Ravi was very excited. He loved solving riddles. He thought, "This is my chance to show everyone my intelligence." The next day, many people gathered at the palace. The king stood before everyone and said, "Here is my riddle. What is it that increases the more you share it?" People gave various answers. "Gold," one said. "Food," another replied. But the king shook his head in denial. Ravi thought hard but couldn't come up with the right answer. Then, the same old man whom Ravi had seen in the village stepped forward from the crowd. People laughed at him. "What will this old man know?" they whispered. But the old man bowed before the king and said, "Your Majesty, the answer is knowledge. When you share knowledge, it doesn't decrease but increases." The king's eyes lit up. "That is absolutely the correct answer," he declared. Everyone was amazed. Ravi couldn't believe his eyes. He had considered the old man useless, but he was the only one who gave the correct answer. The king smiled and said, "Old sage, you are very wise. Ask for whatever you want, and it shall be granted." But the old man shook his head and said, "I have no desire for wealth or power. I only want people to learn that true wisdom and ability are recognized from within, not from without." Ravi felt very ashamed. He remembered how he had mocked the old man. He went to him and said, "Please forgive me. I judged you without knowing you. Will you forgive me?" The old man placed his hand on Ravi's shoulder and smiled. "Of course, son. Just always remember this: never judge a book by its cover." From that day on, Ravi changed completely. He no longer judged anyone by their clothes, appearance, or strength. He listened to people's words, observed their actions, and recognized their true worth. And thus, Ravi learned the greatest lesson of his life: true value is always within, not without. Don't judge people by appearances. True worth lies within. Everyone has hidden potential. Be kind and open-minded. Listen and understand before forming opinions. Real wisdom comes from experience, not just looks.